I'm going to switch gears again. So I just have a little bit left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and rake the backyard, because the backyard, there's a hill, you'll see it. And it does just go into the woods because it's just pine cones. But I know I'm going to need to mow. I don't mow. Who are we kidding? It's going to need to be mowed soon. And so I want to get it raked before it has to be mowed, because, I don't want my husband to have to be mowing over pine cones. Yes, I could burn the pine cones. We just have so much in the yard. It is overwhelming. And I would not be able to burn that much. And I don't want my yard cluttered with bags and bags and bags of things. And, could I have a bonfire? Yes. Could I get a burn permit? Yes. I don't want to have that big of a fire. And honestly, where I live, it makes me nervous. This place is a tinderbox. It's all dead, a lot of dead debris. And man, one false move and my whole neighborhood would go down. So that does make me nervous. I'm comfortable doing the campfire, making it fun, marshmallows, or just sitting by the fire and chatting. But I am not comfortable lighting this big, yeah, just too much, too close. So anyway, I'm going to go have some fun raking, get out some of this energy.
See, this isn't bad. And I did a little bit of it yesterday, but the trees are far enough away, so it's not bad. Because we had all the leaves taken care of, so this is just what fell through the winter and, in the past few weeks. But if you remember from yesterday's video, I was kind of raking the hill, so I feel like it can go down the hill and right there. Also, my weeds bloomed. Oh, those little weeds I was going to get rid of, there they are. And they're so cute. They really are. But I don't really want them. They spread and take over like mint. I am just loving having birds in the bird feeder again. And I am just so thrilled that it's spring and the weather is great. And the little gnats, those little black flies, they are coming out now. But I think because it was kind of cold on this day, they weren't really out. And I'm finding if I go out mid-afternoon, it's not buggy. So that's encouraging. And I'm just getting out all my little decluttering frustrations. And I definitely find still, I've said this before, that staggering brain work versus physical work, or jobs where I'm on my feet versus jobs where I'm sitting down, bill work, meal planning, laundry. Those are all things where I can be sitting down, doing a grocery order versus being up and cleaning. And a lot of times I get more longevity and more done if I stagger what I'm doing. And in this case, it's not only about staggering as far as energy goes, but it was really about mental energy, because that type of decluttering that I was doing was really taking a lot out of me. Oftentimes I'm decluttering things that don't really mean a whole lot to me. So it's definitely easier. And so many of you are right. You have said the more you declutter, the more you're going to want to declutter. It is so entirely true. I can definitely attest to that. So I have peeled that onion and peeled that onion of my things. And now it's really about deciding. It's not about deciding, do I want this stuff? Will I eventually use a sticker, or what was the other thing I decluttered? The washi tapes. Yes. But at the same time, for right now, it's weighing on me to have them, and it's hard to describe. And I have several of you said in the comment section that it's really, as we get older, you just don't have the mental bandwidth of having all these possessions. An empty drawer, one person said, it just feels so good now. It's so true. I feel like I spend so much of my time and efforts in just clearing spaces. And I was even thinking maybe it's because I had just decluttered. So I'm out here raking and I'm like, I'm decluttering my lawn. Really? I've decided I don't want to own all these pine cones. And so I'm decluttering my lawn and going downhill and uphill. It was really great exercise. I definitely have this sped up for you. It's about 4 times sped up because I'm just not a quick girl, but that's okay. I don't need to be a quick girl. It just felt really good to be able to get in there and And someone had asked, do you even have grass? Yes, I have grass. You can see the darker green, the darker green where my feet are now and up, and you can see where it goes a lighter color. The lighter color is really the grass, the darker green is moss. And I am going to be using ash from when I burn sticks. I'm going to put it over the moss and see if that will help because moss loves acidity. The ash brings more neutrality, to the acid, and I wouldn't mind seeding it, but I feel like moss is stronger than grass. So I kind of feel like I got to do something about that moss first. I don't know if that will work or not. Let me know in the comment section. Have you battled moss and won? And it's so funny because my daughter Ava was like, I would prefer moss over grass. And I was like, why? Why would you prefer moss over grass? She's like, well, you don't have to mow moss. And I thought, actually, that's a really good point. You don't have to mow moss. It's kind of like a carpet. And then I'm thinking, could you put a patio on moss instead of spending money on stone and have it be like a carpet outside? It's definitely something to think about with some mushrooms and decor, because obviously I think you get mushrooms on top of moss. I definitely get mushrooms in my yard. And it's great that they're kind of in style now. So people are loving mushrooms and taking pictures of them, and you can put them on Instagram, and people love to look at your mushrooms. It's a funny world. Isn't it funny how we crave simplicity and just getting to go to Instagram and watch cats playing and birds singing and flying and making nests? That's a big deal watching someone clean. I think we just crave simplicity because our world has just become super duper complicated. So I'm getting all these pine cones raked up. It feels very good to expend some physical energy and get out a little bit of angst. So I'm thankful that I can do it, and I do love me some yard cleanup. All right, so I really just have the edges now. I did all of this. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling hot. So because I'm hot and I'm starting to sweat, the gnats are gnatting, which I call black flies, but I think they're technically gnats. Not that it matters. And then I ended right here. So I don't know if I'll get back out here to plant those today or if I'm going to wait till tomorrow. And the annuals I bought, they're going to go right here because then I can see from my kitchen window. Something very exciting has happened over here. Look at this beautiful girl. Yes, I've decided it's a girl. It might end up being my only daffodil, but ain't she pretty? Because I don't see any other buds. And over here, these are the white daffodils with the yellow centers, so I don't know if any of those are going to end up doing anything or not. For now, I'll be thankful for what I have. These are the annuals I'm talking about. The pink geraniums and these little violas that my mother calls Johnny Jump Ups. I think these sometimes come back. I think I had some come back once, but they'll go where I can see them from my kitchen window. And I think where they're in a raised bed, they'll be okay, even though it's technically a little early to be putting in annuals. All right, I'm going to dig a hole. Working outside the comfort zone today. We're going to plant the rose bushes. I better have this thing on. Oh yeah, gotta document this moment. Brand new shovel. Of course, I immediately hit a rock. We used to have a raised bed right here, and we had someone come and take that out for us. It was the same person who was removing the trees and such. And so I've never planted anything here before. I planted that plant in the fall. So it's kind of exciting, but at the same time, I'm digging down like, what in the world? But I had hit a big old root. I'm sure it was a tree root. I had also hit, I keep hitting rock, and so I'm just trying to figure out, can I go around it or do I got to get it out? So immediately I'm like, oh no, I don't actually know if I can do this. But I really didn't want to go get my husband. I really wanted to plant the roses all by myself. So look, I'm about to come. There's a rock. Yep. I'm going to come out with a few more. When Mainers say that we have rock-bound coast, we got rocks, man. Ledge, you really can't dig without hitting rock. And if you're closer up, you can see some good soil, and then you can also see some more tan sand because I do live close to a lake, and it's that poor quality lake sand that we're always dealing with. I went years before I ever saw a worm, and I have even tried a worm farm in introducing worms.
It's a big root. It's another one.
This is also why you see so many rock gardens and rock walls in New England. It's because if you want something free that you can use as a border, you definitely can find rocks. So if you can't find rocks, you're just not trying. We also use them as boundary markers between people's property. I mean, there's just rocks and rocks everywhere. I can remember my dad being so frustrated trying to garden and coming up on ledge because we were closer to the ocean. I got out my big clippers hoping that I could cut through the tree root, which actually did work. They weren't that thick. I was afraid that they would be super duper thick. So I was able to cut through so I could start digging again. And I would cut and dig, and I was also coming up with more rocks. But I'm just trying to not give up and to keep on working at it, using all the little tools that I have. And eventually I do prevail, and I'm able to bury my little rose bush and get her planted. I think I need to name my little rose bushes. I think I'm going to name all of my plants, and so stay tuned, and maybe we can have some naming contests. What do you think would be a good name?
It's like roots and rocks.
That's a good idea. I have 2 rose bushes. I would like them to have names. What do you think I should name my rose bushes? Put it down in the comment section below. If I see repeated names, I will definitely choose those names. We're just going to name everything in the yard. I'm going to be that little old lady who has little stuffed animals and thinks that they're real. Maybe I'll know they're not real, but I'll just make everyone think I think they're real, so they'll just kind of give me peace and let me be. I don't know. I don't know.
Whoa! Owie, thorns.
I was expecting it to come out as like one bulb. A lot of times when you buy plants, they're kind of root bound, so they're really easy to get out. And when I pulled it out, it all kind of crumbled. And then I tried to grab it, and of course, it's covered in thorns, so that didn't feel good. But I got it in there, and now I'm just trying to kind of, of course, add dirt around it and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to smooth out all of the dirt around this. I did up the speed here. This is at 2 times. I only say that because I don't want you to think I'm fast. I don't want you to rush when you're doing a job. Why? Because it just wears us out quicker, and I have been really focusing on going slow. But at the same time, I don't want it to go so slow here that it's hard to watch. So I did speed it up just a little bit for you. And we're just getting it raked. That rake is also brand new. I got a garden rake and a shovel today at the hardware store, so I was super excited about that.
I never do the bushes. I never do the landscaping. Like, I'll do annuals, but I would never like dig out a bulb-ish area. I'm super proud of myself because I hit rocks, I hit roots, and I got it done. It's those little things that make me realize I can do it. And usually I would just call my husband. He would leave everything he's doing, even if he's at work, and he would come out and do it for me. But I'm really trying to get more independent, and it helps me to stay more active as well, and it shows me I really can do it. Tonight, be careful. Yay! Making her happy. Taking my new shovel to the other one.
I feel rocks already. When we say rock-bound coast, we're not even kidding. I'm an hour drive from the coast. Maine's a rockin' ledge. I don't know why New Hampshire's a granite state. A couple of little announcements while I am getting this rose bush planted. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen. I'm a mom of 7, but they range from age 17 all the way up to 30. And I have 3 lovely daughter-in-laws, and I have 3 lovely grandchildren. And speaking of grandchildren, if you've been around the channel, you know we just married our youngest son, and that was in North Carolina, and it was great to see the whole family have us all together. It was just wonderful. But my oldest and his wife and their youngest child, who's only 5 months old, is going to be in Vermont. He lives in Alabama, and so I'm going to be going to Vermont, Yvonne and I, my daughter Yvonne, from Thursday and coming back on Saturday. So I've been filming, and I'm struggling to find time to edit. So I'm editing, and as I get things done, they're going to go right up. So over the next several days, or at least the next 3 or 4 days, I'll get up what I can for videos. They might not come at noon. Normally I post, if you're new here, you might not know this, at noon on Eastern Standard Time. But they're just like today's is late. It's 1:30 and I'm still doing my voiceover. Haven't even started uploading yet. But when this is done, not going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to put it right up. So if you want to know as soon as I put up a new video, you're going to want to click on subscribe. And you could even push the little bell for all notifications if you want to, or if you don't like notifications, that's fine. Just go to YouTube, click on subscriptions, and it will take you to all of the videos or all of the channels that you subscribe to, and then you will know if I have posted a new video. I also realized something about myself afresh. I have been feeling kind of unproductive, and even when I am productive and doing things, I'm just easily distracted, so it's taking me twice as long. But I noticed I wasn't really watching YouTube videos or listening to them as I worked, so this is me trying to find a YouTube video to watch. And I probably noticed I got a couple comments on the channel, so I decided to just answer those comments real quick. But once I put a video on, I felt a lot more focused. I don't know what that says about me, but if you're like me, even when you're working, it's kind of fun to listen to a chatty YouTuber.
We need to get a new frame for this, but I'm not waiting. I want to be able to see flowers right here. I probably need some more dirt here. There's my rhubarb. So, you know, this might be like herbs or something at some point.
Also, wood ash neutralizes acid. I know the rhubarb is acidic, so it probably likes the acid, but I'm going to be using wood ash for that as I burn. Also, it repels lice, ticks, and mice. I'm going to be putting it as I burn around the house, starting with the bulkhead as it comes down all the way to ash, because I feel like when we get mice, that is likely where they come in. So, but I'm going to keep doing it. And under the deck, because I know we get animals under there. So I'm definitely going to be using that wood ash as I burn sticks.
I'm not worrying about extra dirt now because I don't have the patience. Or weeds or anything. I used to have herbs in here. I think they're dead. Hard work. It's a sign of hard work. Right, my daughter heard thunder. I didn't hear it because my AirPods are in, so I'm just going to clean up. I'm not going to water those because I think it's going to rain, and then if it does, I'll come back out and water.
So that is just going to give me a little bit of color to see when I look out my kitchen window. And there's one rose bush. And then over here is the other. I'm going to look up online when I go inside and see if I need to mulch it. Over here to the right of the bulkhead, I do have a little bit of mulch left over from last year, so I will use that if I read that it needs to be mulched. My rhubarb is getting bigger every day. And I'm thinking about putting more rhubarb like over here, since it does so well here. It's very prolific.
Now I have a happy view when I do my dishes.
He just announced that playtime is over. That's what that was. You gonna get up in your, yep, up in the tower. And what are you gonna do about it, Leo? It looks like, it reminds me of Lion King where it's pouncing practice. Oh, isn't that a bummer? He's done playing.
On this day, I was only cooking for me, and this will happen sometimes if my 3 younger daughters are working. My daughter Rachel, who's 26, often will make something for herself. My husband likes to do his little thing sometimes too, and so I'm just making something for me. And this is 98% lean ground turkey and a bell pepper, and I'm going to use a little bit of the Rayo's marinara sauce, which is a low-carb sauce. This is a great filling low carb recipe because I use, 6 or 7 ounces of the turkey burger. I do a little bit more than, I'm supposed to have 7? I can't remember, but I try to do a little bit more than what I'm allowed because it'll shrink a little bit. And then I add the bell pepper, cook it up. I spray down some avocado oil. I'll put on some onion powder, salt and pepper. And then once the bell peppers are soft, I will add the turkey burger. And then once the turkey burger's cooked, add the sauce. It's done. Throw some Parmesan cheese on. And I have myself a very filling dinner. And you see me putting water because I don't want to add more oil to saute.
So now I'm just looking
Also,
at
does anyone recognize this voice? I'll let it play for a
I
minute.
would like to get some red. Okay, there's the red. 59. Aaron went on the other side of the store to get his wood.
If you guessed Kimmy Cope, you're right. She always posts her daily videos at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so oftentimes I am listening to her as I make supper. And I love those channels like the Wads and like Kimmy's channel too. Michelle, my everyday wife life, is good about this too. Like they're cooking and they're kind of chatting with you. But here's the problem. This time of day, I'm out of words. I don't want to talk. So a lot of times I'm not showing you what I'm making for dinner just because I don't want to talk. So I thought, I love to watch what people are having for supper. And I thought you might want to as well. So I thought it's okay if I use voiceover on when I'm cooking. I will try to talk as much as I can when I cook, but on this night I had no words. But let me show you how this all comes out and what it looks like. Once I stir it up, then I'm just going to let the marinara heat up and it's completely done. It's super easy, super filling. Throwing down some Parmesan cheese, of course, reduced fat is best, but use what you got. Sometimes I'll even use fresh if I'm really feeling generous with myself. Sometimes I'll even split this in two and I'll have half for supper and half for lunch. But look at that huge plate of food. Gus the squirrel and I hope you have a great day. We hope you are super motivated to get your to-do list done and that you remember, as always, that God loves you and we love you too. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow.